Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexandre Petre. I'm one of the parents representative for LIFT. I was actually with my wife, one of the founding members of the LIFT project that we're starting in 2018. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is to explain to you a very important milestone in the life of our school and of our association that will happen on December 16th. It's an annual meeting where all members of the association, that means all families, are invited to come. And during this very important meeting, we will ask you guys to vote for the new articles of the LIFT Association. And what I was planning to do today through this video is to explain to you why we need this meeting and what are the changes we are making to our association. So I prepared a few slides to explain that to you. I try to keep it under 10-15 minutes. Let's go. So here are the slides. Excellent. All right. So guys, you all know our school, so I'm going to go pretty quickly into the next slide, which explains that LIFT, as you guys know, is a very special school. It's the only non-for-profit. It's been funded by parents and is co-managed by parents. It's a trilingual school, as you know. It's socially inclusive. We welcome people from all regions, regardless of their nationality. And it's very importantly for all of us, a transparent school where the decision of the financials is something made public to all of us. Okay? Now, one thing that I really would like to insist on, and I love this quote, it's a bit of a joke here. You all remember Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. I want you to reflect on that. LIFT is very special, but it's also special because it's the only private school in Taiwan funded and co-managed by parents and families. You wouldn't find that elsewhere, where we get such a voice to express our views, our vision, our hopes for our school. Therefore, all of us, we have a responsibility to protect and preserve our school for today with our kids and for tomorrow when our children are no longer attending the school. So I really hope that you will pay attention not only to this presentation, to this video, but that you will join the meeting of December the 16th. Now, we've started about a year ago an important project, which consisted of reviewing and updating the legal setup of our school and our association. And as you can see, we took us about 6 months through multiple meetings, interviews, working with the Taipei city government, with also our lawyers firm who support us, to come up with a revised version of the Articles of Association. These articles have been fully reviewed, finalized, refined by the Board of Uplift. And today, I'm very happy and glad and honored to present that to all of you. This will lead to two very important meetings, and I don't want to confuse anyone, but there's a first meeting that will happen on December the 16th. It will be an online meeting, so you don't need to move physically. It will be online. And during this meeting, we will vote for these new Articles of Association that I will briefly present to you later on. Later on, next year, on January the 22nd, we will host our annual general meeting, during which we will elect the new board of the association. This will be a physical meeting where you will be asked to be present physically, but we will get back to that later on. For the moment, I really would like to focus on the December 16th meeting. Now, this timeline all involve a number of people. But first of all, why did we need to change the Article of Association? Well, as we'll explain to you in a second, today, the school per se doesn't have a legal existence. And the board of the school, where people like our chairwoman, Amy Chen, has been driving, the development of our schools, and all the board members, technically speaking, they don't exist legally. The only thing that exists today is the Parents Association. That creates a problem, some complexity with these double governance entities and not being clear about who does what. It also creates legal liabilities, where right now it's really sitting on the shoulders of parents any issues that might happen in the school. The other problem is that this setup doesn't offer a situation for long-term development for the school. For instance, if tomorrow we wanted to borrow money to, I don't know, renovate a building or make some investment, then there's not a single bank that'll be ready to make a loan to us. And finally, and maybe most importantly, our current setup is simply not compliant with the laws of association here in Taiwan. Now, through the last 9 months, there's been a number of people that were involved in the work I'm presenting to you today. First of all, many representatives and members of the board, starting with our chairwoman, Amy. A number of companies that supported us with their manpower and their know-how. Thinking in particular of Crédit Agricole and BNP Paribas. Our legal advisor, Ecovis, a number of public institutions, starting with the Taipei City government. So what we are presenting to you today went through a number of back and forth between us and Taipei City government, with the AEFE, which is the French agency in charge of teaching French overseas, and finally with the BFT, the Bureau Français de Taipei, or French Embassy. We also reviewed thoroughly, we reviewed in great details a number of how other schools, other French schools in Asia had their setup, given that each country is different and each country is ruled by its own laws of association. This school because now this slide will explain briefly what is the nature of the change we are trying to do. As of today, this is what our school and association looks like. There is a parents association called Uplift that's registered in Taiwan and has its own board. And Charlotte Sicher is the president of that board. We have a number of institutional partners, mostly the French banks I mentioned earlier, Crédit Agricole and BNP Paribas, but others as well, Decathlon, Alstom, who've been funding and putting money on the table to support the development of our school. And the school itself has created a board with 6 directors, plus our head of school, and the executive teams being our head of school staff at the school. But as you can see with the colors here, today, only the Parents Association is a legal entity. The school is a license under the Parents Association, and our partners are not even represented, legally speaking. What we want to do with this new article of association is simply to do that, is to make our school the association. So basically to expand the scope of what's in the association so they can include all the parents, same as today, but also the individual members that represent the partners that support us. Number one. Number two, as you can see, to have a single board that's compliant with the Taiwan Laws of Association, with 9 directors and 3 supervisors. And the idea of this board is to represent both parents and keeping at least 5 seats to parents as directors, and there are 4 independent directors coming from the business world, or coming with a background that would be critical for the development and the sustainability of our school. What is expected of you? Why we're making this video? The most important thing is we need all members to join the December 16th online meeting that's scheduled at 7:30 p.m. You should have already received an email about a week ago. You're going to receive more communication, and you're going to receive the actual meeting invitation shortly, both in Telegram and by email. And you will have a number of reminders, but I would like you, if possible, if you can already block that date. Okay? Second point, if you cannot attend the online meeting, then try again. It's important. Okay, it's a bit of a joke here, but I can't insist enough how important this meeting will be. For one reason is if not enough members show up, then the vote of that meeting will be invalid, will be null, and we can start again from scratch, okay? Third, if you really cannot attend, you always have the possibility to appoint another member of the association to represent you, with the limitation that each member can only have one power of attorney. Four, if you can read the article of association, of course, I'm about to give you a quick summary, but read through them. And if need, if you have any questions, you can contact any members of the board of Uplift. Charlotte, Xavier, Dat, Kat, Pauline, Thibaut, Sandy, Ihue, any one of us are here to answer any of the questions you have. And finally, and most importantly, on the December 16th, when we present the vote for the new article of association, we need all of you guys to say yes. Let me now quickly, I have 6 other slides just to give you a high-level summary of what you will find in the articles of association, okay? To a very large extent, you will see that these articles are very standard. The laws of association in Taiwan are pretty rigid, and there is not much flexibility we can have, okay? But just for the sake of transparency, I just wanted to give you a thorough overview of those articles. So, in the first section of the articles, we define who can be a member of the LIFT Association. By default, any parents or guardians becomes member of the association with 1 member per family. But we also want to welcome individuals that will be recommended by the board of directors. These are typically like individuals who come with a strong business or a background or skills that are critical for the development of our schools. For instance, to give you an example, our dear chairwoman, Amy Chen, she doesn't have any kids at LIFT, but she's already given 3 years of her life, probably at least 1 to 2 days a week to support the growth of the school. And I like to take advantage now to thank her very deeply for all the time she dedicated to that. But it's not only her, it's other people, our lawyer, Pascal Tianakun, who is interested to support us as in a supervisory level, and other individuals that would be important to bring critical skills to our schools. The other categories are group members. They are the representatives of the organizations, the companies, the institutions that support the development of our school. So again, I'm thinking of the BNP Paribas Bank, Crédit Agricole, and others as well. And finally, it could be honorary members, could be former members or former directors that maintain a strong connection to our school. And I'm thinking in particular of the founding president of Uplift and our former president of Uplift, Alexandre Levy. That's the 3 types of membership that are defined in the article of association. The second part talks about the powers of the general meeting. So the general meeting is basically all the members, all of us. When we meet at least once a year, what are the powers that we have as a General Assembly? Well, first of all, we formulate and amend the articles of association, and that's the purpose of the December 16th meeting. We elect and dismiss directors of the board and supervisors. We then have once a year, during our annual meeting, we are asked to review the work plans, the budgets, the financials of our school and association. We also decide on the association membership fees. As you guys know, and if you don't know, I'm sure that Stella has reminded you, we have a membership fee of 1,500, 1,500 Taiwanese dollar per year that are different from the tuition fees, by the way. The general meeting can also decide on expulsing members, can decide on what to do with property that we don't have as of now, but if one day we have. The general meeting can decide on the dissolution, the end of the association, and then any other significant matters related to member rights and obligations. Okay? That's the power of the General Assembly of all members. We, as a General Assembly, we elect a board of directors. And here is what the board of directors is going to be composed. And all of that is, to a large extent, ruled by Taiwan's laws of association. The board of directors is made of 9 directors elected from and by the general meeting. That means that only members of the association can become directors of the association. And by members, I mean individual and group members, okay? The honorary members, by definitions, cannot be elected and cannot vote either. Note that members of the board are unpaid positions, and they cannot work as members, as staff of the school. They cannot work as teachers or as administrative staff. The board of directors will have one chairperson and one vice chairperson. It will also have a secretary general that will be a point of contact with the Taipei City government. And the terms is fixed to 3 years, with re-elections being possible. Only for the chairperson's number of terms will be limited to 2, so 6 years in total. Apart from the board of directors, as per the law, there's also a supervisory board made up of 3 supervisors, same unpaid position, and cannot work for the school. Now, the board of the directors, what is this power? The board of directors decide on the agenda of the general meeting, okay? He's also reviewed the qualification of members, and by that we mean those individual members that are not parents of the school. Every time, it's not like anyone can join the association. That will be under the recommendation of the board of directors. The board of directors elect and dismiss the chairman and vice chairman. The board of directors can decide on a resignation of directors, chairman, vice chairman. The board of directors appoints the key senior staff of the school, specifically the head of school and its finance director, okay? The board of directors formulate our work plans, reports, budget, financial statement. It is the entity that gives to the head of school the strategic objectives and the framework under which he or she has to work. The board of directors manage the association property. And then the board of directors will also propose a list of candidates as a reference point for the election to the board, either directors or supervisors. This is to make sure that whenever we present candidates to all of us for elections, those are candidates that have been, interviewed, that we know where they're coming from, etc. The power of supervisory board, I'll go very quickly. The supervisory board is meant to make sure that the board of directors is compliant with the articles of association, with our bylaws, and with the regulations in Taiwan. Finally, just want to explain to you how the general and extraordinary meetings happens under the Taiwan law. First of all, by law, we must organize one general meeting every year to, at the very least, report back to the General Assembly our work plans, our financials, etc., etc. In addition, if, for example, a board is elected and the members of the association, and by that I mean parents, are not happy with the performance of the board, then there is always a possibility to organize an extraordinary meeting. That could be convened either by the board of directors itself. This is actually what the board of Uplift is doing right now with this December 16th meeting. It's an extraordinary meeting organized by the board of directors of Uplift. But if, again, that's by law, if at least 20% of the members need to have an extraordinary meeting, potentially to recall, to revoke a director or the entire board, this can be done with 20% of the members asking for it. Or an extraordinary meeting can be organized upon the request of the supervisory board. When we meet as a General Assembly, for regular items, basically we need a minimum of 50% of the members attending the meeting. And for the vote to be approved, to have a majority of votes, okay? For special items, and you can see that the December 16 meeting, if you look at the last bullet point, falls under this category. Same, we need at least 50% of the members to join the meeting. It will be, again, an online meeting, so it's easy for everyone to join. And we're gonna need at least 75% of yes for the new articles of association to be approved, okay? So those special items includes, for instance, the amendments of the article of association, which is the purpose of the December 16th meeting, okay? So with all that in mind, you understand, I'm gonna stop, where I started, by saying that this December 16 meeting is extremely important. It's a result of 1 year of work that's happening, in the background to make sure we offer to our school a legal setup that allow it to keep on growing and to keep on being so exceptional to our kids and also to all families, okay? So I really can't
I hope that all of you, all parents here will join this meeting. We need at least one member per family. There's only one membership per family, and only the person registered as a member will be asked to vote. But we need everyone to join, and we need everyone to say yes to those articles of association. Otherwise, we will put the future of our school and association in jeopardy. Thank you so much for your attention. I look forward to seeing you all on the December 16th. And along with all my colleagues of the Board of Uplift, I am at your disposal if you have any questions. Thank you very much.